All right, let's go ahead and take up the homework for the first section. So we are going ahead and we're going to label stuff here. So here we're labeling everything from the indicated angle. Some of these are more obvious than others. So this guy here is from B. So again, across from here is your hypotenuse. Across from the indicated angle, see that means indicated there. This is your opposite. And then this guy here is your adjacent. All right, so what's left over? So across from the hypotenuse. So here's your important angle, but first we label across from the right angle is the hypotenuse. Across from the indicated angle is the opposite. And then what's left over is adjacent. So I'll give you a second on this one. Label your hypotenuse. Okay, across from the right angle. Here's my key angle, my indicated angle. So this is your opposite. And then what's left over is adjacent. Okay, the next one, you're going to grab your calculator. So I don't have my calculator with me, so I'm going to go on my phone. And I'm going to make sure that I'm on degrees. And I hit 30, and then I hit the sign button. And you get 0.5. So this one's 0.5. So this is all, just go ahead and throw this into your calculator and see what happens. Hit 45. And then hit the cos button, and you get 0.70 or 71. And the last one is tan 60. So in my calculator, it's 60 then tan, and you might get a number bigger than 1. The only time you get a number bigger than 1 is with tan, but that's fine if you get that. So let's go with this here. Here's an example of how to do this. So what happened was, ignore that. Here's the angle that I care about. Let's label these. Hypotenuse again. Opposite, because it's across from the angle that I know about. And then what's left over is adjacent. You don't need to label that third angle, or side, sorry, but I'm going to do it just to get used to it. Then here are the key angles, or the key sides, sorry, are hypotenuse and opposite. So then we use SOHCAHTOA. Okay, and we say which one is hypotenuse and opposite. Sine is, so it's going to be sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 63 is equal to opposite over that's an O, over hypotenuse. Oh, my battery's running low, is it? Let me plug this in. So then you sub that in, opposite over hypotenuse. My opposite is the X. My hypotenuse is the 15. In this case, good, we're charging. In this case, what I'm looking for is on top. What's going on here? My computer's going nuts. So this X is here, so you leave it there and take this 15 and bring it up. Okay, and then you multiply the 15 by sine 63 to get 13.4. Let's do B. There's my indicated angle. There's my hypotenuse. This is opposite. This is adjacent. So here's the angle. Hypotenuse and adjacent are the important sides today. So I know one, I want the other. Okay, adjacent and hypotenuse is cos. So I have cos of 32 is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay, and then that's then going to be cos 32 is equal to adjacent, which is 28 over x. Now this one's going to be a little different than the one over here. So if I go back here, I had sine, but that's not the big difference. The big difference was the x here is on top and here it's on the bottom. So if it's on top, you just take this guy and bring him up. If it's on the bottom though, you got to go ahead and swap these out. So that goes there, and then I have 28 divided by cos 32. Okay, throw that in your calculator. Let me get my calculator out. Clear. 28 divided by 32 cos. And most of you at this point will see 0.84 on your calculator. That's not the right answer. You got to hit equals, okay? Because what popped up was 32 cos, and then you're left with an answer, x equals 33.0, 33.0, okay, or 33. Okay, so that's how you do that. Let me set these other ones up for you, okay? So let's just do one more. Let's do C here. There is the angle of interest, okay? This is opposite, sorry, hypotenuse first, opposite, adjacent. Here I have opposite and adjacent are the important ones, okay? So that's going to be O and A, that's going to be tan. So tan of 42 is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So let me just come up with this here. Tan 42 is equal to opposite over adjacent. Let's go back real quick. What do we have here? What's my opposite? My opposite was 32 and my adjacent was x. So that means now, see here, so tan 42 is equal to 32 over x. Was it 32? I don't know. Let's say it was 32. That x is on the bottom. You got to swap these guys out. You get x is equal to 32 over tan 42. Throw that in your calculator and you get your answer. Okay, so that's how you do those questions. That's about as hard as it gets. The only thing you're going to have are questions like this that might take a couple steps. So what you do here is, this is the angle of interest. These double triangle questions, what you're going to do is we're going to find x eventually, okay? But to find x, I need to know what y is, okay? So you need at least one side length. That's just telling me that we have a meeting. I already know that, thank you. And what you're going to do is find y from this triangle. So in this triangle, I already have a side length, and I'm going to find the second side length. Now, and that'll put me in a situation where I'll have one side length here, and I'll find the second side length there, okay? So to do that, I'm going to label this guy from here. So I'm just going to redraw this, okay? That's 46. And this is now my opposite, hypotenuse first, opposite and adjacent, and this is 8. So the keys, this is the one I want, this is the one I have. So I'm going to say that's tan of 46. Tan of 46 is equal to opposite over adjacent. You don't need that line. You can go right into this one. Tan 46 is equal to opposite, which is y, over my adjacent, which is 8. Okay? The y is up top. So I just take this 8 and bring it up there. So it'll be 8 times tan 46 equals y. So if I do that here, sorry, my calculator pulls on me. Flip this back. 8 times 46 tan equals 8.2. So this is now y is equal to 8.3, actually 8.3. Okay, so 8.3 is this length here. So now what I'm going to do is redraw the right triangle. And when I do that, oh gosh, it looks like that, 35, and this is 8.3, right? And now what I want is x, that's hypotenuse, that from 35, that's hypotenuse, that's opposite, and that's adjacent. So again, I'm looking for tan, so that looks horrible, but that's opposite and adjacent. So now, again, it's tan, but in this case, let me just erase this real quick. Get this out of the way for you. Oh, that guy, and then do that, and then boom. Let's clean this up a bit. So now let's go in, let's try green. So we're going to come back and go tan of 35 is equal to opposite or adjacent. Okay, this is my opposite, this is my adjacent. So tan 35 is equal to 8.3 over x. Now this is on the bottom, so you're going to swap those at x equals 8.3 over tan 35. That says tan 35. Throw that in a calculator. 8.3 divided by tan 35. Excuse my disgusting writing. 8.3 divided by 35 tan equals 11.9. Okay, hope that makes sense. Have a great Easter, guys.